Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, dear students, in the reagent series regarding your competitive exams like CSIR-NET, JRF and GATE and related exams, today we'll be talking about Pyridinium Dichromate. जिस तरह हमने पिछले क्लासेस में ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट की जो सीरीज है उसमें हमने MnO2, potassium dichromate, this is potassium permanganate and other reagents we have discussed. So today we have the PDC, Pyridinium Dichromate. Achha, this reagent is also called as Conforth Reagent. Remember this. So these things we have to remember. पहले इसका ये जो है इसका जो कंपोजिशन देख लेते हैं होता क्या है. तो बेसिकली दिस pyridinium dichromate इट्स अ साल्ट. ये जो ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट है इट्स अ साल्ट ऑफ. So when we say salt, that means it has been prepared by the acid base process. ठीक. तो बेसिकली हमारा एसिड होता है यहाँ पे क्रोमिक एसिड. How is that prepared? So you can prepare chromic acid by this process, chromium trioxide with water. So that will give you the chromic acid, ठीक है, which is your H2CrO4, that is H2CrO4. And then this chromic acid, when it's treated with base like pyridine, or certain people say it's pyridine, no problem. This is your pyridine structure. Oh, sorry. It's a single bond. So please take it as a single bond because we have a conjugation here. Okay? And this is your pyridine. And pyridine, you have very interesting to your lone pair here. So we have those, this lone pair is not in the conjugation. So you have those 6 pi electrons. Take 6 pi electrons. So it obeys 4n plus 2 pi rule. And all those 6 pi electrons are in conjugation. So you have basically aromatic character. So your pyridine is aromatic. This is interesting. Take care. Now this is one thing. Now we have lone pair. It's available for donation. That's why it's a base, Lewis base. So what it does in presence of this chromic acid, it takes the proton, it forms this type of structure. So chromic acid takes this pyridinium ion is formed by acid base combination. When this pyridine or pyridine, it takes a proton from the acid and it forms, this is called as the pyridinium ion, and then with dichromate ion. So dichromate is your combination, which is dichromic is formed like if you do this type of process, if you write it twice and then you do the dehydration minus 2 water out of it, so you have your H2CR2O7. This is your dichromic acid. So it forms Cr2O7 2 negative. तो ये जो आपका reagent है, this is your pyridinium dichromate acid base formed by the acid base reaction. It forms the salt. So it's a salt of pyridine and chromic acid. So we have pyridinium ion and the dichromate ion here. This is called as the PDC. It's also called as the Conforth reagent. Okay? So if you want to know about the dichromate, we know that in the inorganic chemistry, so we have a bridge here, C chromate. So we have oxygen here, double bond, because these things are also very important. So you have a negative charge here, a negative charge here. This is the structure. So this chromium has 2, 2, 2 and this plus 6 oxidation state. In fact, both this also has the plus 6 oxidation state. Okay? And we know if the oxidation state of your metal ion is high, it's a strong oxidizing agent. Okay? So that's why pyridinium dichromate is a strong oxidizing agent. So you can write down, this is a strong oxidizing agent. Strong oxidizing agent. So this was all about the basics of your Conforth reagent. That's pyridinium dichromate, PDC. Now, अब क्वेश्चन है कि हमें जो यूजुअली जो एप्लीकेशन पार्ट हमारे एग्जाम में आता है, हमारे जो पेपर्स आते हैं, जो ऑर्गेनिक ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है उसके लिए हम कैसे इसको इस्तेमाल करें. रिमेंबर, देखिए उसमें वेरी इजी है. यू हैव टू रिमेंबर पॉइंट नंबर 1. What it does, since it's a strong oxidizing agent, इसका मतलब it can convert your, let us say, alkene. Example मैं ले रहा हूँ. It cannot oxidize one reagent to the next level of oxidation. It can make the oxidation of carbon to the 2 levels or 3 levels higher. For example, if you have alcohols, so what it does, it can convert the alcohols to carboxylic acids. So it's very, very stronger. So what it does, this reagent, this PDC, Pyridinium dichromate, it converts alcohols to carboxylic acids. We know alcohols के बाद जो next level of oxidation रहती है, that is aldehydes and ketones. And then when we move further from aldehydes and ketones, then comes carboxylic acids. So conversion of alcohols to carboxylic acid, it's a 2-level oxidation simultaneously. That means it's a strong oxidizing agent. Now उसमें याद क्या रखना हमें? First of all, it does the oxidation of alcohols, number 1. So pyridinium dichromate can oxidize alcohols to carboxylic acids, or we can see it can oxidize the alcohols. Second, ये जो oxidation property है, the oxidation of alcohols, it depends on the nature of the solvent. So the oxidation with the help of PDC, it depends on the nature of the solvent. Remember, this is very important. यहीं से question आता है. It depends on the nature of solvent. आप जो रिएक्शन इसमें यूज करते हो, वी नो दैट वी रिक्वायर द सॉल्वेंट्स एंड ये जो सॉल्वेंट है, व्हेन वी वेरी द सॉल्वेंट, फॉर एग्जांपल आप सॉल्वेंट को यू गो फ्रॉम नॉन पोलर टू पोलर सॉल्वेंट्स, यू वेरी द नेचर ऑफ द सॉल्वेंट्स, द टेंडेंसी, द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ ऑक्सीडेशन ऑफ पीडीसी विल वेरी, एंड वी शुड से इट इज स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ ऑक्सीडेशन विल वेरी. फॉर एग्जांपल देखिए, वी कैन सम इट लाइक दिस. इफ यू हैव, लेट्स से 1 degree alcohol, and if you have 1 degree alcohol and you want to oxidize this with the help of PDC, okay? Let's say you are using solvent dichloromethane. Shortcut, that is your CH2Cl2, dichloromethane. Okay? So using this solvent. Now इस solvent के presence में it will oxidize 1 degree alcohols to, so you can write down, these are very important things. So it can oxidize this to the aldehydes. So this is very interesting. Even though मैंने ये कहा था कि it's a strong oxidizing agent, but ये जो उसकी oxidation tendency है, tendency to oxidize the substrates, that depends on the nature of solvent. इसका मतलब it is going once यहाँ पे by changing the solvent in presence of DCM, it does 1 level oxidation. ठीक है? So if you likely have the solvent like, let's say we have a solvent like dimethyl formamide, DMF. D, in presence of DMF, dimethyl formamide. So that's your formamide is your let's say you have this is your amide, CONH2. Okay. So if you convert this into 2 methyls, so you have NRR, that's methyl. So this is your dimethyl formamide. Okay. We know amide is formed by the combination of your aldehyde and ammonia, that forms the amides, or carbonyl compounds with the amines, that forms amides. But N पे आपके 2 methyl groups है, so it's dimethyl formamide. So in presence of dimethyl formamide, your product is acid. So this is important key. That means under this solvent condition, it behaves as a strong oxidizing agent. यहाँ पे it's amyl type. And then अगर आप solvent use करते हो polar solvent, highly polar, like let's say you have ethanol as a solvent. So let's say you are using ethanol, ETOH, and ethanol, you know, it is CH3, CH2 and OH. So in presence of ethanol as a solvent, your product is ester. So this is ये है इसमें important चीज. This is important to remember when we have to talk about the organic transformations. आपका जो substrate दिया होगा उसको आपको product में convert करना है. So what it does, it does the oxidation of alcohols. For example, we have a primary alcohol here, and tendency to oxidize the alcohols depends on the nature of the solvent used. ठीक है. For example, अगर आप ये reagent use करते हो in presence of dichloromethane, then you will convert the 1 degree alcohols to aldehydes. In presence of dimethyl formamide, you will get acids. In presence of ethanol, you will get ester. Now let's take one example as an organic transformation. देखिए, let's have a compound R CHCHOH. ठीक है. So if we have our solvent, so in presence of dichloromethane, हमें याद रखना है कि it will in presence of dichloromethane, PDC will convert alcohols to aldehydes. So it's very easy. So what we'll write down the products. So our product will be R. This will get converted to aldehyde. So that's C. That's it. So what we have done, we have removed the 2 hydrogens. That's oxidation. ठीक है. So you'll get this aldehyde. So likely अगर आपके पास होगा, now we'll use this solvent DMF, dimethyl formamide. These are all the organic solvents. So we know that in presence of dimethyl formamide we'll get the acid. So आपको इस COH को convert करना है into carboxylic acid, COOH. So we can do it like here, R C. Now instead of H we have OH here. So what we have done here, you can compare this and this. So this is the highest level of oxidation. Alcohol to aldehyde to carboxylic acid. It's a strong oxidation. And then if your reagent is in presence of PDC, when your solvent used is ethanol, ETOH. So we know that in presence of ethanol, it will convert alcohols to esters. Okay? So you can make an ester very easily. देखिए how you can do that. So you have R C, it will convert this into carbonyl, and then ये जो ET का है, that will become your ester. Remember this. So ethanol ester कैसे बनता है? We know it's formed from alcohols plus acids. तो यहाँ पे first this will get converted to acid, carboxylic acid, let's say this, and then this ethanol solvent will combine with this, and we know ethanol solvent, ethanol will give the H, so ETO, this will come from the alcohol, this one, so that forms the ester. So these are the organic transformation. यहाँ से इस पे question आता है. So remember PDC, that's Pyridinium dichromate. It's a strong oxidizing agent. It's basically a salt of pyridine and your chromic acid. So it's also called a Conforth reagent. Okay, so this is all the basics. So what it does, since it's a strong oxidizing agent, it converts alcohols to carboxylic acids. But the tendency of oxidation, the type of oxidation it does, to which level of oxidation it can convert the substrates, it depends on nature of the solvent. For example, if your solvent is dichloromethane, then 1 degree alcohol will be converted to carbonyl compound. If it is in presence of dimethyl formamide, so we have conversion to acid. In presence of ethanol, we'll get ester. Then let's have the example. If you have a 1 degree alcohol like this alcohol, for example, agar R is your CH3 and it's ethanol, so we'll get your esteraldehyde. If R is your, let's write down, if R is your CH3, so we'll get esteraldehyde. यहाँ से you'll get acetic acid, यहाँ पे you'll get ethyl acetate. So that's it. तो यही चीजें इसमें important है, यहीं से question आता है regarding pyridinium dichromate. So now we have one more reagent, that is pyridinium chlorochromate, but that we'll do in the next class because today because of some busy schedule. So आज हम इतना ही कर लेते हैं, ठीक है. So आज हम next reagent we'll see in the next class, that will be pyridinium chlorochromate. So thank you. अगर आपके पास कोई क्वेश्चन है, कोई ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है, तो आप भेज सकते हैं. So we'll do that. इसके अलावा हमने नई एक सीरीज स्टार्ट की है रिगार्डिंग बायो इनऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री. So you can follow that also. So we are simultaneously running now 2 series, that is your organic reagents and also the bioinorganic chemistry for your, particularly for your CSIR, NET, JRF and GATE exams and related exams, of course. Thank you. So this is all for today.